So what's your name and where do you live?
I'm Melody and I live in Florida.
And which step of your clutter clearing journey are you currently on?
I'm on step one.
The clutter clearing journey requires 2 hours a day, 5 days a week to complete it. Given that we all have busy lives, how do you manage to make time?
Well, I work mostly in the afternoons and evenings, so my mornings are available for me to figure out what I want to do with them. So I decided that that would be a good time for me to do my clutter clearing journey.
We would all prefer to find that magic wand that will enable us to deal with our clutter challenge without us having to make regular time to work on it, and without having to face the feelings and the emotions from our past that are connected to our clutter. What was your turning point with your clutter where you realized and accepted that you weren't going to be able to clear it quickly and easily, but instead would have to prioritize some of your time to doing a little and often with your clutter clearing journey?
It, I don't know if it happened all at once for me. I think it was a kind of a progression. Um, I was wanting to, like, for a long time, I didn't care about clearing my clutter. I just was like, oh, I'm okay with it. I know it's cluttery, but whatever. Um, and then I started to gradually realize that I wasn't okay with it anymore and I wanted to do something about it. So I started trying to do something about it on my own, looking things up online. Um, and I stumbled across the clutter clearing videos on YouTube, and so I started watching those and trying to follow all the advice that I got from that. I would just turn on the videos and try to work through my clutter while I had the video going on to keep me motivated. um, but and from those videos, I learned that I should try to do just a little bit at a time instead of trying to do it all at once, and that really seemed to be working. But then there was so much that I wasn't really ready for on my own, so that was why I started the journey. But I think it was just kind of a slow realization as I was trying to work through it on my own that, oh, I need to take this in little bites. That was really helpful.
So what advice would you give to someone who's worried about how much time that it's going to take to clear their clutter?
Um, it does take a lot of time, and you have to be committed to it. Um, so, I mean, it's kind of a legitimate concern that, oh, yeah, it is going to take a lot of time, but it's also an important thing because the clutter really affects your your quality of life and your ability to do the things that you want to do with your life. And so if you want to get past it, then you have to decide to go, like, the only way to get past it is to go through it. And the only way to go through it is to set aside a little bit of time and just gradually build that up and figure out how it fits in. And then eventually you'll be able to manage it. It probably won't all happen at once. It probably would be gradual for most people.
So what one piece of advice would you give to anyone who's struggling and been struggling with their clutter for years?
If you've been struggling with your clutter for years, then, well, there's a lot of other people too that have been struggling with their clutter for years. You're not the only one, you're not alone. And if you join the social gatherings, you can meet some other people that are struggling with their clutter and trying to do something about it. And you can kind of get introduced to some ideas and methods that can really be helpful. So just take the first step.
Lovely, thank you.